And as we continue to grind to shine, be sure to hit that like button, share this content. Let friends, neighbors know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk. And beyond. Come on, baby. Mama said there will be days just like this. Come on with it. One thing we all adore, something worth dying for. Come on with it. Yeah. They really say ain't no party like a cowboy party. What about a Law Nation's groove? From my studios to yours. Cowboys backup quarterback Carousel. Should they draft or trade for one? Q&A session on this beautiful, and I mean just that, beautiful Saturday. Come on with it. And as this room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit that like. Sharing is caring. This is pretty much a low-key recycled news. You know, when we first talked about this, everybody was saying, hey, Law is clickbait and all of this. And I was trying to tell them, like, nah, this is an actual story. This is something that the Cowboys may do. Now, we do know of this right here, that they did say that they will like to draft a quarterback in this draft. We got 10 draft picks. You can't fill in all of your holes with these draft picks, by the way. I think that the Cowboys should, that's the operative word, should figure out ways to will and deal this particular situation. Yep. 5. 4. 3. Put a 1 in the chat if the audio is straight. 2. And 1. All right. Come on with it, everybody. Appreciate everybody for tuning in on this beautiful day. I hope all is well with you all. I thank you guys for subscribing and sharing is caring and doing all that you can do for the nation to help grow the nation. But with that being said, Cowboys, I don't want to bore you guys all day, so we're going to get this right to the chase. The Dallas Cowboys, to a degree, we got a lot of holes, right? We got one guy that need to get paid, and I'm talking about J.G. Whitworth type of getting paid, is Micah Parsons, right? So that we can look into the flow of things. And before you pay Micah, you got to make sure that your mindset is straight before you go into this draft. And I'm with the belief, yeah, you should go ahead and pay Micah, by the way. But I'm with the mindset that the Cowboys should do the order of operations. Pay Micah, sit down and figure out how to get Tyler Smith contract going, and look into the resources of what you got with DeRon Bland, and then say to yourself, okay, we know who Will Greer is. We know that Dak Prescott, in the last 5 seasons or what have you, he's been nicked and knacked with some type of injuries, right? So if you plan the law of averages, there could be a situation and a chance that your quarterback may not play all 17 weeks, which is understandable, right? But you got to make sure that you are in front of it before you get behind it. Look, I need for the Cowboys to be very much so proactive opposed to being retroactive, right? And that's what we're getting at. But the storyline for it all shows, and it says this right here from what we are able to pick up. Give me 1 second while I piped this music and noise in. Give me 1 second here. Come on with it.
Then Joe Milton, this is a really interesting name in this quarterback carousel we're talking about because he has trade interest. The Patriots are exploring a trade. I'm told several teams are interested. One team to potentially watch for is the Dallas Cowboys because they are looking for a good backup, a young backup with upside. They may not get it in the draft. Maybe they get it in the trade. They've already made 2 trades this free agency. Maybe they go for a third. But then Joe Milton, this is a...
All right, so that was a snippet of that. On a scale of 1 to maybe 10, 10. Would you prefer 10 being the highest, a situation of the Cowboys getting a Joe Milton? Scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the highest, like, yeah, let's get him, but with circumstances. Don't get him for a third or a fourth, Jerry. We don't have a fourth. Don't even do next year fourth. But you may have to will and deal. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you feel comfortable with a Joe Milton? Or would you look into this situation and scenario and say, you know what, man, just bring Trigger Trey back, man. At least our guy JP will be happy, Bring Trigger Trey back. That's the situation. On a scale of 1 to 10. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. And that's just how it goes when you start to think about all of these things. Let me see if I can pull up my free agent tracker once again. And give me 1 second. Boom. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. All right. What's up, Ashley? Appreciate you. 3. That means you on the back end of it. You're like, man, I can't do this with this guy, right? And here we go right here. These are your available, and we talked about this a little bit last night. These are your available guys that's out here. Trey, Drew Lock, Joe Flacco, Jameson, he's already gone, Case Keenum, and Easton Stick. Do you guys would like to go and look into these guys? You can get Milton for a 7th. Yeah. Do you think that the Cowboys should go get a Craven Moorhead? I haven't did any of that. and who is that? Because we don't know who that is. We should trade for a starting wide receiver. Yeah. I think that at one point they tried to get Trey Lance as a backup in Dallas. Jerry Jones liked it and allowed him to go throughout and find out if he has it or not on his own market. Oh, okay. So what you're saying is basically you think that the Cowboys, and I don't know who look, we don't know who Craven Moorhead is, dog. Yeah, we don't know who that is. Yeah. Tyler Huntley is the one. Okay. Tyler Huntley, let's see what they were talking about with him. $5.9 million is his career earnings. I don't know if Tyler Huntley can be a guy because he's been around for a minute, but I just never really seen anything outside of 1 year of him being able to show us something, And 10, but not at a 5th round draft pick. I figured that out with that, Charles. Yeah. You like Tyler Huntley? Yeah. Okay, y'all like that? Okay. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. All right. With that being said, let's see what we got here. Man, these ads that's popping up, boys, crazy. But I'm telling you, let's listen to my guys over here.
You're going to be excited.
Okay.
Because Jeremy Fowler,
oh baby,
ESPN, dropped the Dallas Cowboys in the teams to watch list for Joe Milton.
Oh! go.
New England Patriot backup quarterback in Tennessee Volunteer.
Go Vols, baby. Let's go. You will never see more majestic, incomplete passes in your life.
6'5", 250?
6'5", 250. Just, I think he could. He has a better arm than Josh Allen.
I mean, it's not the most absurd. It's at least a conversation. There's nobody that's typically able to say they're even in the conversation with him. It's at the very least a conversation. He can throw the ball 80 yards.
Yeah.
He can. Accuracy is the issue. All right, so, and he's 25. He's a little bit, I think he's about like a couple of months older than Trey Lance. He's a little raw, but, you know, he can move, he can get around, and I think that could be a situation. Let's see what we have here.
He just doesn't know where it's going.
Neither did Josh Allen early.
Right. The problem with Joe Milton is that he can throw the ball 80 yards. That's the good thing about Joe Milton is he can throw the ball 80 yards. The bad thing is that his 5-yard passes also go 80 yards.
He's punt god. He's Matt Ariza.
He really is. Everything is a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. There is no touch.
He had the flash game last year against Buffalo. He was 22 of 29 for 241 and a touchdown, 10 rushes for only 16 yards. But, Bobby, this looks like a trait thing. I'm starting to develop and notice a pattern with them over the recent backup quarterback talk. Trey Lance, well, he's got number 3 overall traits. Joe Milton, this would be a trait thing. The other day, who were we talking about as a backup quarterback?
I was talking about Levis.
Yeah.
That I would be interested in Will Levis. But, yeah, I mean,
If he's available, Will Levis. But I think that Joe Milton, that one game versus, they said, Buffalo, that could be the overall concept of, okay, we've seen it once. If you've seen it once, you can see it again. Now, there's really, with Trey Lance, there's not really a defining moment or a game that we can look back at. Maybe we can look at that Raiders game in preseason, but that's preseason, right? And even that game, we was looking at it like, hey, this brother, he trying to throw a little 5-yard hitch. He's going to try to tear the damn receiver hands and face off with it. And he had the same issues. When Joe Milton, to a degree, we know for sure, if you go back, watch some college tapes or what have you, say, okay, all right, he just needs to be polished up a little bit better. Jimmy says no on Will Levis. I feel you.
Look, they never seemed, no matter how well Cooper Rush performed, they always just seemed a little like, all right, I guess we'll bring Coop back. But, like, they were never gung-ho about it the way they were with Trey Lance, who Trey Lance had never showed you anything. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think traits is going to be a big thing for them when they're looking at grabbing that lotto ticket and like, this is going to be the one. This is going to be the one we'll hit. Milton is really interesting because if they like him.
So much upside
if
with
they
his
were,
physical traits.
Yeah, if they wanted him, if they were like, all right, let's go make him our backup quarterback, that's the guy we'll invest in. After traits were kind of off the charts, as somebody had told me last year when he was coming out, they went, I'll be honest with you, this may be seen as a dig at one guy as well as a compliment at Joe Milton, but I don't see a whole lot of difference between Joe Milton and Anthony Richardson when they were coming out. And so when you talk about then he played well in that game, you don't have a 4th-round pick. If you're genuinely interested in looking at Joe Milton, I don't think he's going from a 6th-round draft selection last year to only being given up for a 5th year. I would think 4th is more the territory.
Really?
Which makes me wonder if they were to go after him, would they be looking like, well, maybe a 3rd?
And this, oh my gosh, that's a little too rich. Come on.
A little rich.
This is another example of why you throw darts if you're the Patriots. You got Drake, you draft Joe. You draft Joe in the 6th. I agree with Bobby, the price would be higher. I'm thinking a little bit more like 5th. But if you got a 4th-round pick for Joe Milton, you have a humongous 2-round win in a trade.
You bought a house and flipped it.
Yep.
No doubt. That philosophy is ironclad philosophy, a concrete philosophy. I think the Patriots did it before with Jimmy Garoppolo, right? I think they got like a 2nd or something like that back in return, or it could have been a 3rd or something. Y'all let me know what they got from the 49ers for the Jimmy Garoppolo thing. Now, the Cowboys on one end, we don't do the trade acquisition well. right? We don't do it well. And when we do any trade, we kind of bloviate and kind of talk too much about it, and we get a little too ahead of ourselves, especially when we go down that trail of, I think, Amari Cooper, right? Stephen Jones was saying, hey, we just going to watch his highlights when the first pick come around. And now, you're looking back at it, we still haven't replaced Amari Cooper. We haven't replaced him. We hope that Jalen Tolbert can turn a corner and do something for this season. But even Jalen Tolbert, as of now, haven't replaced the guy that they thought they could replace Amari Cooper, and that's Michael Gallup. Jalen Tolbert haven't been as good as a Michael Gallup to a degree. So, boy, we spinning the blocks on these backup wide receivers or the number 2 wide receiver. We tried to make the execution for Brandon Cooks, but that just didn't work out for us, man. Sometimes things just don't work. And the kind of caliber of receiver Brandon Cooks been, it's just been a drop-off from what we thought that we was going to get, like in Amari Cooper type of productions, right? And those things that when we look at this team, all I can say is give a little hope. And I'm not selling it, but that's all we got. Is if Mingo can turn out to be something, right? Mingo and who else? Paris Campbell. Somebody argued me down and said, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, Paris Campbell is our number 2 wide receiver. And I'm sitting here like, dog, boy, shoot, that's they try to tell me that, and I'm not beating them up, but
it's an evil world we live in.
A guy that could barely make the team over there in Eagles land is now our number 2 wide receiver, and we have the exact same expectations that the Eagles have. The Eagles' expectations are to win the Super Bowl. The Cowboys' expectations every year to win a Super Bowl. And people will argue that the roster and everything is the same, which is not. Emmanuel Coleman states, Law, I would have only gave a fifth for Joe Milton. So I feel you. I forgot about Ryan Flournoy. So we leaning on hopes of 2 guys that can erase all of this, and it could flat out happen if we identify with only this thing, what we call run game, and different routes for these guys. I don't know what the world happened to Mike McCarthy last year on developing, okay, we're going to have hitches and curls, comebacks. We're not going to spread the field, and we get one guy to go off and do some crazy things. Then we were thinking that, okay, we will continue to do that, but we would get Cavante Turpin on one good play on a slant, and then we look around and we're like, hey, when we going to go back to Cavante and them? And we never get a chance to see him. We never get a chance to see him. But it is for what it is, Cowboy Nation. All right. Let's do this right quickly.
That's what you did, and
Except for Bobby.
right,
Yeah, not me.
But I mean, look, if the Cowboys were to get him, you're looking at upside.
Right.
He is on the Dak Prescott.
And by the way, I'm totally fine with the Cowboys using a 5th if they like him better than the quarterbacks they think will be there.
Right.
Yep, 100%.
Draft a quarterback.
He is on the Dak Prescott person level, like the type of guy he is.
Oh.
He came to Tennessee to be the starter. He lost his job to Hendon Hooker and moved in with Hendon, became his best friend, stayed back behind him for 2 years, and then started the next year. He's totally team first, kind of like Jalen Hurts at Alabama, right? Stayed. So there's a lot of positives about Joe Milton. The negative is the simple fact that he doesn't know where the football's going.
And what type of runner?
He's a horse, man. He's 6'5", 250.
But he's got speed.
Yeah, he's not he's not Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
No, but the way,
But
Is
he
he
can
like
run.
Hurts?
like
Or more
like
explosiveness?
More like Allen.
that kind of how Allen's just
Yeah. He more of a burly, big 6'4.5", 6'5" guy. The ball looked like a little tennis ball in his hand when he throwing it, and you got to be very creative if you're going to bring him in and by his height and stature alone, I think that he's got some durability still left in him. He's only 25, so yeah. 5th round draft pick. That's what most of you guys are saying, right? 5th or 6th round draft pick. I got Mingo over Tolbert. This is from C Dangerous Lamb 88.
Powerful
He's
runner.
a horse. Yeah, he just he gallops across the. That's the same kind of athlete.
Like I wouldn't say. I don't think he was in the Milrow 40 time category, right? I don't think he was a
nowhere close.
7.
No,
but he's just a bigger guy he's very athletic.
So that was a note for RJ to hold back his excitement.
Be sure to check out the guys at 105.3 The Fan. Thank y'all for watching. They do a great job with that piece there of giving you guys some insights on things that we talked about and cover a little bit. I think that if we are to go into this draft and looking at a quarterback, I already told you guys, as you guys can see on the thumbnail, that Jackson Dart is my guy, and I think that, and shout out to my Mississippi guys, I think that he would fit right into this system. I think that you can go with him opposed to going with a Joe Milton. I think that could be the situation. Now, I would be crying over spilled milk if the Cowboys do decide to pick up a Joe Milton. But it all depends on where you go with that, whether it's a 6th round draft pick, 7th round draft pick, but you got to make it to a degree, whereas it makes sense for them too, right? They use draft capital for him, and they probably want something a little bit south of what they got out of the draft for him. So if he was drafted in the 5th or the 6th round, maybe they want a 4th round draft pick. Maybe they want somebody to just a player out of that. And then you have to look at the Patriots. What do they need collectively? Who we got in surplus, and what do they need in order to solidify that? And I think to a degree, we got a lot of people in the room in the wrong department that haven't been proven. Appreciate you so much, Gina. Thank you so much. 160 people in here and only 55 likes. Hey, she putting shame out there.
It's an evil world we live in.
I know it's the off season. I know things are drier than Sahara Desert, but man, come on.
Shame. Shame.
Get that likes up.
Shame.
Appreciate you, Gina, for pointing that out. And with that being said, let's go ahead and...
How to be an Atlas man. First, gently glide your House of Atlas razor with the grain to ensure a precise, comfortable shave. Then, drop your transmission with nothing but a spoon. Anything's a tool in the hands of an Atlas man. Now apply Atlas Calming Aftershave. Welcome to the top. Welcome to Atlas.
Be the smoothest guy in the room. Durable blades for long-lasting smoothness. Precision trim edges for detail and also cutting those sideburns. With a stabilized stainless steel for a smoother shave. Dermatologist tested, comfortable, smooth glide. This will be your number one blade in the world. And all you have to do is remember House of Atlas. Shave with the best. No doubt, shave with the best, man. Be sure to check out House of Atlas. The information is in the description box. And we was talking about a flexible head on this particular razor you can use. And you got 5 blades that cut at precision and precise expertise on your face. So come on, check out Atlas. The information is in the description box. Be sure to check my team out over there at the House of Atlas. I appreciate everybody for tuning in to these type of episodes. So with that being said, if we're on a journey for a QB, the journey should be make sure you draft the right guy. Make sure you don't go too deep into this particular situation and say, shout out to you, Warren Jones, thank you. But make sure you don't go too deep in the situation of saying, all right, let's just go in the first round and draft a QB. Let's go in the second. No, we got too many holes on this team to corner the particular situation of going into the draft too early for said player. I think that you have to allow this team to figure out ways that we can improve the trenches first. And then, of course, if not, get other wide receivers. Because when I talked about the depths of this wide receivers that we already have, we got a bunch of unknowns, right? We got Jalen Brooks, Jalen Tolbert. Well, Tolbert to a degree, we should know who he is, right? We got Mingo, Paris Campbell, and we probably still have somebody that's undrafted to a degree that can probably step up. I don't know if Tyron Billy Johnson is going to still be on the practice squad, or Jalen Monroe Cropper, and as well as Cavante Turpin, who's one of the guys that's going to be on this team for a minute. We got a bunch of those things, but we don't have a definitive number two. Now, granted, I would tell you guys that when you look at this thing and you say everything, shout out to you, young star, appreciate you, and superstar status, appreciate you. Shave that hair, boy, they're wolfing. Yeah, shave it away. But neither here nor there. When we look at the complete picture of everything, I would tell you guys that the Cowboys really need that elixir on the offensive side outside of CeeDee Lamb. Now, we got a bunch of unknown guys that can probably do something in the running back room, too. Tiny Deuce Vaughn, Hunter Lupke. You see how many holes? We got some holes, baby. That's all I'm saying. Brooks is known. He ain't it. That's what. Hey, what year this is for Brooks, right? Going into his third season already? Yeah, it's third season already, man. Shoot. Boy, we better figure this out, and we better figure this out real quickly. Yeah, we better. Because if not, then we're going to be in this situation over and over again like we were before. So the Cowboys better stand tall or not at all in this situation of making sure that they get somebody that can get something going. C. Danger Lamb says, I agree with you, Law. Yeah. And I've seen the take on Jonathan Mingo, right? Got a chance to talk to his wide receiver coach. He's working out hard to prove to the world that, hey, I belongs in the National Football League. But remember, everyone have a reason, and results are what matter. The results of this situation is what matter. And the Cowboys got to figure it out to get the results, the finite results that we're looking for, Cowboy Nation. We do have a bunch of 3s and 4s. We still got Booth, Law. Andre Booth. We need to get Boot and boot him up out of here. Boot him up out the booth. Flournoy might be on the practice squad this year, low key. I think that Flournoy had a good offseason last year in training camp. And then what hurt him up, he banged his knee, and it made us go and get somebody else. I've got his name. And it was like, hey, this dude, right, his name is the tip of my tongue right here. Got the dude's name. But he came in and he showed up a little bit. People were like, hey, can he make the team? Yeah. But Flournoy, to a degree, I just think that the Cowboys should have utilized him a little bit earlier. He was performing a little bit better than Jalen Brooks, but politics is in the way. Yeah, Neon did the video with CeeDee Lamb. Did y'all? Yeah, he did a great job of that. And I think that right there is something that we can all look back on and say, okay. And it was around the time that we released DeMarcus Lawrence, and he had him a different approach to this whole thing as it relates to that too. But with that being said, Cowboy Nation, the NFL draft is right around the corner. And let me see. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of y'all day. We are seeing the interactions is low, and I don't want to steal all of y'all beautiful time from here. But I appreciate those who tuned in, and I really appreciate you guys for being part of these episodes. Be sure to hit that like button, share this content on the way out, and we will be back for another episode when news is more prevalent. DC for life, not for short. Let's get on up out of here. Peace.
Ready? Run from it. Destiny arrives all the same. And now here, what should I say? I am.
They can come closer than close, yeah. Original, they